Hi guys, Dr. Darla Nofziger here. So I just wanted to take a minute and kind of show a demonstration of my favorite muscle testing for self-testing. Um, as y'all know, I am a clinical kinesiologist and I have been practicing muscle testing for about 20 years now. Um, And when I first started, nobody knew what muscle testing was and know how to do it. Almost nobody, at least in the United States, knew much about verbal muscle testing, which is kind of my superpower. Um, but in this case, I'm going to kind of show a different kind of test. So my favorite test is the O-ring test. Now, the drawback to the O-ring is it requires two hands. But it's still kind of my favorite. And when I am testing, it is very easy for people when I'm working over video for people to see the no response. I mean, there's no mistaking it. So I'm just going to quickly go through. So I'm taking my dominant hand. I happen to be right-handed, so I am going to make the O um, with my dominant hand, so my right hand. And then I'm going to use my index finger with my opposite hand and pull. Now, right now, you just doing a baseline test, you see I'm strong. No matter, I can really pull, tug, and the O stays strong. Now, if we are going to do a baseline for a negative, so indicate a no. See, you can see very clearly it breaks. I can use other baseline tests like my name is Bob. No, it's not. Negative, no, anger, you can, anything that would produce a no, negative, incongruent, disruptive, weakened, innervating, incompatible, incongruent, false statement, anything that equals no should in the baseline produce a broken O. So a yes is strong, a no is weak, and that's basically your baseline. Now, you can essentially phrase any non-ambiguous question. So it's got to be very, clear cut, something that can only produce a yes or no, or a strong or a weak, or a true statement versus a false statement. And those will, provide your testing. Now, in this case, I am recovering from a serious multi-parasitic infection. And I'm talking about some very nasty parasites. I'm talking about Bacillopsis buski and tapeworm. So, or actually, I think it's hook. Anyway, so my stomach has been all kind of jacked up ever since. I have been kind of dealing with probably, what I'm sure would just be colitis. I mean, basically, my my stomach is inflamed. It is just what I've been referring to as angry. It's just been angry. So right now I am trying to find the things that will reestablish the balance in my angry gut. So kind of using a process of eliminations, I have determined it is going to require 3 supplements to put this back into balance. And just kind of running through, I determined that one of those things was from one of my product lines that I use of Nature Sunshine products. And that is basically the yeast and fungal detox. which I've already been on for a while because I have my co-infection from those nasty parasites is ringworm. Yay. So now I have a ringworm kind of infection I've been dealing with. And my prescription medication has done nothing. Zero, zilch, except kind of put my liver at some serious risk is what the medication has done. But has done nothing for my fungal stuff. So I've already been on the yeast and fungus stuff for a while. It has helped, but it's not enough. And I've known that because I still have this angry gut. So that was one of the things that I determined through a very systematic process for determining what I needed. And then the other two were my professional line of systemic formulas, which love, but it can be difficult to find, and they've had some serious supply chain issues, and it just has kind of left us all, having to plan B it and C it and plan D, and it's gotten kind of frustrating. But so using a process of elimination, I determined that one of the products was a biofunction, which are probably, well, I do like the bionutriments too, but they're probably my favorite. Well, I love the tinctures too. For kids, the tinctures, those are my favorite. But for adults, or anybody who swallow pills, I really like the biofunctions. So through process of elimination, I determined I needed D, which is for digest. Now all the biofunctions have glandulars and or organ factors in them. I think this one, let's see, what do we have in this one? We have pancreatic, liver. Seems like there's something else. Oh, ox bile. I thought there was one other thing. Oh, yeah, stomach. So, and along with, kind of the other, betaine, HCl, I mean, all of the things. So, ammonium chloride, pepsin, golden seal, Oregon grape. So, glutamic acid, very important. Okay, so this was one of the things. And then the other thing, and this was very surprising to me, and this is why I love muscle testing, because I would have never kind of come up with this on my own. Although the more I'm looking at everything in it, I'm like, gosh, that kind of makes sense. But I would not have gotten there clinically with my brain. And I have 30 years of, 30 years in just healthcare as a whole, and 20 years specifically, in natural health. So, but I would have never picked this. So the other thing is, I determined it was a bionutriment. So those are the blue ones. And worked up that it's jot. Now, jot is actually a joint supplement, but when you think of it, your gut and everything your joints need, they're basically the same nutrients that build both of those things. So everything that your synovial fluid would need and everything, is all the same things you would need to rebuild your gut and to rebuild your mucosa and all those things. So that was just like kind of shocking to me, because I would not have gone there on my own. So testing is telling me that these three things will And I'm getting ready to stand up just because I want to demonstrate this, what I'm doing. So basically, I'm just taking one capsule of each of these things to put it in my hand for the sake of testing. Okay, so okay. My pants kind of get this. Okay, so right here, if I run my hand just across my angry gut, okay, you can see I'm weak, and actually significantly weak. So in theory, if my verbal muscle testing is right. Now, what you just saw me do is kind of called a touch local test. So basically, I can kind of go through different body parts and find out if they're weak or strong. And in this case, I knew it was weak anyway because I wouldn't be angry anymore. So I basically already kind of knew that. Sorry, well, dry in there. So I've got one each of these, and I'm just going to put those in my body field, and you will see that I am now strong. And basically what that tells you is the combination of these three things will help to rebuild and repair my angry gut. So that will now be my, kind of protocol, or included in the things I'm already taking. So basically, that is a demonstration of the O-ring method, what you would do to perform a baseline test. You kind of see the demonstration of a touch local, which is basically, is my angry gut, is it weak or strong? And then basically the concept of finding, I've kind of just called those antidotes. So the things that you need to repair or rebuild or clean out or whatever to restore balance to that specific area. So hopefully y'all have found this helpful. Like and subscribe. I try and get these done as often as I can. And, as y'all know, I am into many, many things. Muscle testing is only one of my kind of superpowers. So I'll see y'all soon.